Hero simps, merchants, and also peasants.
Oh my fucking god. Seriously?
And welcome back to Krown's magical, juicy, and seductive
Big girl.
Derby Cave.
Big girl cave. What the fuck? What was that? We welcome back to the Krown Crypto channel. We got plenty to talk about today, as there is a new monthly closure, and there's gonna be some pretty there's gonna be some good news and then some pretty damn bad news. So with that in mind, if you want some boolah-ish hopium, turn your fucking head away. But there is still some good news as well, and perhaps this is gonna take a long time to play out anyways, so not looking at anything anytime soon. And with that in mind, I do want to welcome all 600 people watching right now. We got 165 likes on the video. That's amazing. That's very, very appreciated, very much appreciated for, and wishing everyone a nice and healthy and safe and just a nice little morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. As always, we got a lovely moderator. See Nikki Page, good morning to you, and I think Elsa's here, so that's cool, I guess. But I think yeah, most other moderators probably doing something in real life, if I had to guess, because things have been, more or less boring actually. And there he is, Bear Nutrition. What's up, man? Good morning to you, brother. Good fucking morning to you. I actually see a lot of new names here, so welcome to all the new people in here. It's always very interesting when new people come in here, because it's like, oh shit, how's this gonna work out? Is this gonna make sense or not? As I imagine this channel kind of does things a lot different than many other channels out there, as we don't necessarily just talk about like, okay, so today the good news is we're going up again, or we're going down, because it seems to me when I typically tune into other people's channels, and look, I'm no fucking expert on this, so maybe I'm just talking out of my bunghole right now, but basically what I typically see is it's like it's always either bullish or always bearish, and people just I don't know, people just want a cheerleader for both sides. It's like you join a gang. You're not really trading, you're just rooting for like a side, which is not what I want to be doing on this channel. I want to be coming at things from a more statistical and probabilistic nature, and then let things play out as they will, which there's definitely been some very interesting comments on that in the past few days, which is good. It seems to me like most people actually do get it, but some people, man, statistics, difficult concepts, I guess. Anyways, let's see. What else do we have over here? I see Matador MC. I see Tony Begg. I see Stephen Conway. I see John Pedersen. I see Raul. I see Tegan. Nice Kitty Style Exteriors. A lot of good and familiar faces. Good morning to everyone out there. And Michael S. Austin Shroop. Do you have a YouTuber that you like? I have a lot of YouTubers that I like, but not necessarily in like the cryptocurrency space. I don't, and I'm not saying this to sound like fucking arrogant, but I don't like want to spend my time watching other people as far as their analysis goes, because I want my analysis to be fresh. I want it to be unique. I want it to be from my own, from my own. I don't want to be conflating it with other people's stuff. And also it's like, look, I'm doing this fucking all day, every day as far as trading goes. So I'm not really interested in like surrounding myself with YouTubers' opinion in that case, which I completely understand sounds like a little bit strange, because it's like, why, I'm saying that as someone who does this for myself, but at the same time for me, like I look at it as a selfish, altruistic endeavor, where it's like I give out my information and then, a few things come back as well, which is good, which is nice. But I actually like spending my time watching a lot of philosophical YouTube channels, which Elsa absolutely fucking hates. She calls Robert Greene the boomer, and it's like, how dare you speak poorly of this man? He's amazing. Anyways, do you think Bitcoin can go below previous all-time high because of a recession? I think it doesn't matter what it is. Can it go down below? Yes, of course. Anything can fucking happen. Bitcoin can go to zero. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, obviously it can fucking happen, but is it probabilistic? Well, I think I've made my thoughts pretty damn clear on that, in the sense that probably not the most likely thing right now, or at least as of this moment in time. But I see that we got a holy shit, man. Congratulations to Brooke Diamond. Holy fuck. The second cave, baby. You've had, holy shit, but you guys are just pumping them out right now. That's amazing. So congratulations to you. You're in the delivery room right now, and this baby is coming out slower than Bitcoin's price action the last 4 months. Yeah, but things are picking up now, so all good. Yeah, poor wife, man. But hey, sincere congratulations, man. That's awesome. And sending love and gratitude back to you and oh my God, it must be the dead of night for you. Dear Lord, man. That sounds, oh God. That sounds like quite the ordeal, man. It must be like what? It must be like 12, or sorry, it must be like midnight or 1 or something like that for you over there in New York. But congratulations, man. That's fucking awesome. And I have a ton of coffee over here, because it's funny, man. I goofed up on my earlier coffee, so I had to refill, and now we got to re-drink it all. Throw an extra stitch in there, says not quite savage. Quite savage indeed, actually. Very quite savage indeed. Anyways, I do want to remind everyone, if you do happen to give a fuck, I've been posting a lot more frequently on Instagram recently, as I found it's kind of a really good venue for reels, especially to get out my thoughts on more, I don't know, what would I name them? Maybe like educational topics, kind of like quick little hits of hopefully value is my goal there. But yeah, the link is in the description below. That's my personal one, Eric Russell Krown. Any other account is a scammer, obviously. Then we got the Krown Crypto, and we got some fucking birds screaming out here, which is annoying as fuck. What the hell, man? Like, Jesus Christ, can we just start a goddamn holocaust on these birds? I fucking hate birds. They're awful. Oh yeah, oh no, the slurp, yeah, man. Here comes the comments. It's like there's always like one or two people who will leave a very like lengthy comment after the video and be like, now, I believe you have probably been doing this on purpose just to hurt my ears. But let me tell you, Krown, we will be unsubscribing from that behavior. So fuck you. It's like, okay, all right, well, that's nice, sir. I hope you have a better day. The bird is the word, man. I despise birds, man. Those little dead prehistoric fuckers, they can all die, man. They are freakish, Nikki Page. Look at like those eyes, man. Those eyes. There's no love in those eyes. They're just disgusting dinosaurs. I think they're a relic of the dinosaur period, actually. Birds aren't real, says Shamus. Maybe, but you'd have to tell that to my priorly fat kid self when I was like 7 or 8 or something. We went to Disney World in Florida, and I had this brownie. I had like this massive fucking brownie because at Disney World, like, it's just ridiculous what they give you there. And it's also America, so it's like double fat. And then I have this humongous brownie. I'm alone on the beach with this amazing piece of pastry, and I'm walking along the beach, and then a goddamn seagull swoops out, picks up the fucking brownie out of my hands, and what do I have to do after that? I cried. And at the time, man, it was so embarrassing because I really wanted the brownie. I was very fucking fat, and I wanted to eat, man. I was at Disney World. It was a long day. We did a lot of walking, which was big exercise for a fatty like me. And you know what? Is this fat shaming? Can you fat shame yourself? Would you want to fat shame the big girls? No, we can't say that. I'm talking about Lizzo's big girls, okay? I would not fat shame them. I actually really respect them and thought that they were really, really cool. You watch this stupid fucking show called Lizzo's Big... Watch out for the big... Is it that? Watch out for the big girls? Honestly, there's nothing wrong with being fat. It's just, it's interesting to watch, like a documentary. It's like, how do you guys shit? Like, for real, like, toilets do not fit that size of bungholes, man. Just insane. Punked by a seagull at Disney World. Yeah, man, terrible times. I mean, honestly, I believe I cried too, man. It was very, very embarrassing. Very fucking embarrassing. I caught a seagull while I was fishing off a boat. Wait, what? How is that possible, man? Hi, Dad. Thoughts on Tron? Oh God, we'll get to that later, man. I don't know which one's more concerning, Dad or Tron. Maybe Dad, actually, because Tron was looking kind of different last week, if I remember properly. The CIA needed you skinny. Durian, you can't say that nowadays, man. You can't say that. No, man, it's there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I actually did think it was like just rather interesting to watch, man. They're fucking good dancers, though, I'll tell you that. Pretty damn good dancers, which is rather interesting. Kill all the birds. Daddy, should I backtest? Man, yeah, I mean that's always the one thing that I can always fall back on, man. It's like, oh God. One of the things that can just make me absolutely fucking irate in the Discord is when someone says like, hey, Krown, what is this strategy over here? Or how do I do this? It's like, have you, or do you think this would work? It's like, have you tried backtesting it? Like, why would you care about my opinion if you actually fucking backtested it, man? That's the only thing that matters. You should always value your own backtesting results over anyone else's opinion, whether it's someone like me, whether it's someone like, I don't know, your mom or dad, or I don't know what they have an opinion on it, but it doesn't matter who it is, man. You should always trust your own results over someone else's. You can always stand by that. Now, that calls into question your methodology. That perhaps could be, questioned, of course, but I don't think it's that difficult, to be quite frank with you. Anyways, my Chinese name translates back as really? Henrik translates to seagull? That's interesting. Learn something new every day. Hey, what's up, Tyler? Good morning to you, man. Good morning to you and your cheese and grits, sir. Buy birdseed and throw it near a neighbor's daily so they hang there. How about no, Rosie? How about fucking no? Backtest D's nuts, says Greg Daniels. Yes. Should backtest D's nuts. Hey, Krown, I need 200,000 by next week in price or just in dollars. Someone has rent to pay and probably a loan to settle as well. Hey, what's up, Charles Fox? Good morning to you, man. And Huge Ass Titties, one of the best names in all of YouTube. I backtested the throat. Jesus Christ. Well, that's impressive, man. If there's any ladies listening right now, he is your guy. IG content has been awesome, bro. Hey, yeah, that's. I'm glad to hear that, man. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the feedback, man. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to come at it from like a good angle because one of my issues with like Instagram or really any social media that's kind of more less involved content like that is that a lot of the time it's used to like flex, you know. It's used to show like, hey, here's what I have, here's these cool things that I did, but there's no like substance to it, there's no value to it. So I'm really trying to find an angle where it's like, hey, you know, here I can maybe show you some cool scenery. Hopefully, you know, my cameraman's pretty fucking good with that, very, very talented. But hopefully some information as well, basically. Is kind of my idea there, because I think it's a really good venue for that sort of a thing, for like little quick topics that don't really deserve a full-on YouTube video, but, you know, still are important, at least I think. So yeah. Opinion on 15-year-olds buying houses from Bitcoin trading. I mean, if they can actually buy a house from Bitcoin trading, that's amazing. Like, good, more power to them, man. That's like, no, fuck them, man. That should be my house. They owe me, man. I'm more than twice their age. It's like, no, like, what the fuck? If they made that's amazing. Congratulations to them. Can I get a slurp? No problem. You're having a good holiday, good hair day today. Not holiday, but hair day. Yeah, man. Soon enough, though, I'm going to be having a hair transplant actually in the next 12, 13 days. On the 13th, I believe it is. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll turn on the camera for that, just because I think it's going to be a bloody mess. Like, I've looked at the pictures and everything, and it just looks like a bloody fucking mess. It's like really, really gross, actually. We didn't break 42,600-ish. Yeah, we're nowhere fucking near 42,000. So yeah. Yeah, it's quite interesting, man. It seems to me that a lot of people on YouTube, maybe not a lot of people on YouTube, but definitely some loud commenters on YouTube will think like, if you're looking at a macro analysis that's, you know, realistically, when you're talking about macro, you're talking like months out in advance, really. If that doesn't play out within like the same day, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's like, looks like you're wrong again, bro. It's like, what the fuck, man? Good fucking luck with that. Good fucking luck with that. Hey, we got 388 likes on the video as well. That's pretty damn good. It's pretty very much appreciative of that yet again. Wow, 42,000. I missed that. Yeah, me as well, man. Me as well. I remember when Bitcoin was at $40,000. Please give us the next targets for Cardano. I fucking hate comments like this. I absolutely fucking hate questions like this. This is the most, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna use the scientific terminology here, retarded comment you could possibly get on YouTube. I'm not calling you retarded. I'm saying it's a retarded comment, which again is scientific in the sense that like it's held back, like you're being held back because you have absolutely zero idea of what you're even saying to begin with. What are the next targets for Cardano? What are the next targets for Cardano? I don't know. Are you on a fucking minute chart? Are you on an hourly chart? Are you on a daily chart? Are you taking longs or shorts? What sort of strategy do you have? Are you scalping? Are you trend trading? These sort of things, like, holy shit, man. If you're just asking people on fucking YouTube who may or may not be even like good authorities on the topic, just, hey man, what's the next target for this, for X, Y, and Z? You're going to get absolutely fucking wrecked, because at some point someone's going to give you an answer, because they're going to think that they're going to think that they know exactly what you should be doing, which I certainly do not. I have absolutely zero way of knowing that from that comment at all whatsoever. And even then, I probably wouldn't know what to do for you anyways, because Cardano seems to me like an absolute piece of shit garbage token. So to me, probably not. But hey, I might be wrong on that. I could very well be wrong on that. And in fact, I'd be happy to be wrong on that. But here's the thing, man. When you go about asking questions like that, it just shows that you have no actual strategy. You have no preferences. You have not thought about your preferences as a trader or an investor or whatever that might even mean to you. And so how could you possibly make a good decision for yourself without having these things clear? You can't. You quite literally can't. You have to define these things for yourself, only for yourself. I cannot do that for you. No one else here in the world can do that for you. Only you can do that for you. And that should be actually a very soothing thing. It should be a very soothing thing because you are the authority in your own case. And that means you get to decide. And well, you're always going to be the best person to decide for yourself if you are yourself, obviously. Sorry, I went a little bit disrespectful there. Maybe I did not mean to be disrespectful. What I meant to be is just a little bit stern because these sort of comments are very interesting and not the community that I really want to foster, to be quite frank with you. Cardano equals bird. I mean, it is a thing, right? Because, you'll go on these channels, it's like, hey, what are we doing today, guys? We long or short? It's like, fuck you. It's like, I read these comments sometimes on other people's channels. I'll tune into their live streams, and it's just like, oh my fucking God, what is a cesspool of garbage? Jesus Christ. I'm almost done with the coffee, fellers. I will get into it soon enough, I can assure you of that. And it looks like my camera is having a little bit of hiccups here still. I wonder why that is. Moonboy Antenna says the harshness is why I'm here. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I think that we've lost someone though out of the cave. It was a sacrifice. I apologize. Again, it was not intended to be like a personal insult. It's an insult against an ideology, and it's very common. And obviously, this is something that people will just intuitively think is the right way. And people just want information, right? I mean, that's completely fair, right? I'm just trying to give a bit of insight into why that can be very misleading. It's no one can do that for you. That's just the straight and narrow of it. I would not be able to do that for you. I mean, shit, even without like a probably hour-long conversation, I probably couldn't even make like a good recommendation. Even then, I shouldn't even be making recommendations because I'm not a fucking financial advisor. I can simply give my own opinion, which may be right, may be wrong, on all sorts of different things. Wait, what? Charles says Elsa equals crap. Jesus, man. Okay, all right. Well, very interesting insight, interesting opinion. Of course, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but well, interesting enough. And I see Faraz is here. What's up, Faraz? Dangling flip-flop feet for the win, baby. You're in 42-degree heat right now, man. Nobody, you gotta keep the feet safe in that sort of weather, man. You're gonna get smelly, stinky feet, sweaty feet, very sweaty feet, man. I get sweaty feet even like 15 degrees, so holy shit, man. Plenty of people are willing to bet on your analysis, I'm sure. Here's actually a thing, man. You should certainly not bet on my analysis. Why is that? Because my analysis is absolutely 100% fucking worthless. Analysis is worthless. Trading setups, very worthwhile. Incredibly fucking worthwhile. That's where I feel like I can actually, have a bit of an impact, hopefully a positive impact, and that always comes back to backtesting. Which the people in the program will tell you that I incessantly fucking say that because I'm a Nazi about it, I guess, which, is probably true. But the thing is like people confuse analysis on YouTube with like real trading. It is not at all whatsoever. If I can't even trade an analysis on YouTube because it wouldn't even make sense for me. I'm mostly on short-term timeframes anyways. And then on top of that, it's like, I don't care what the macro direction of Bitcoin is. Even if I think it's going to the moon or if I think it's going to the fucking doom, if my signal on a 15-minute is giving me a trade for, maybe $500 on price action, don't fucking care. It's just not relevant. So that's it's something to really consider when you're on YouTube. It's very, very difficult to actually talk about like real trading. And if I did, it'd probably just be quite boring. I mean, I can tell you, I don't know, can I go over to my chart right now? I can give you my trading chart right now. Here's what we got. There's zero fucking signal on the board right now. There you go. There's absolutely nothing to fucking do. That's what a lot of it is, man. Just waiting for the fucking signals to come up that again you've back tested and gone forwards with. and then just playing them out, waiting for them to play out. That's basically the fucking game, man. Anything more is not necessary as far as I know. Krown looks like he drinks them coffee packets in the MRE deployment. Yeah, I guess this sure kind of is a military grade. Yeah, funnily enough, this would be a good coffee for that as well, because it's like the instant coffee. All right, cool. I think we're just about ready here. All right, looks like we wasted enough time already. And here we go, starting off with Bitcoin. And I want to cover both the macro based off of the monthly closure that we just got in the last few hours, I guess, and then also the daily signals yet again. So I'm going to start off with the positive here. So understand that this is going to be mediated with some pretty heavy hitting analysis on the very, very higher term timeframes. That's going to be the monthly and beyond, obviously. But in this case right here, the daily signal still very much relevant, and we are seeing it play out in front of our very eyes. So I am still looking at this as available as long as Bitcoin daily stochastic momentum is still moving to the upside, which will be moving as long as Bitcoin is above now $29,000. You'll notice if you were on yesterday's video that number was priorly $30,000, now moved down, I believe, almost $1,000 right here. So I think it was at least 30,000 bucks. It's probably somewhere around there. And so in this case, I'm looking for this, I look at this signal as valid as long as that condition is met. And it's actually a very good sign that number is moving down in comparison to yesterday. That's typically a very good sign. So what essentially is the signal, and what am I talking about? Because I didn't actually reference that just yet. Well, we got the daily BBWP over here. Anytime that we have seen it get down below about 10 percentile, the expansion phase from that extreme low has led to an average move about, a little bit over 20% done over the course of 10 to 14 days from that expansion time. We saw expansion officially happen back here just a couple days ago on the 29th of May, officially right there. And that was met by the three criteria that we needed to confirm. One of them was, of course, BBWP getting a positive slope, the second getting above the moving average, and then the moving average also getting a positive slope as well. So that's obviously happened right now. And going over the historical results of this, again, we back tested it going out about 2 years, I believe. And they've been pretty damn consistent, about 20% on the lower end, maybe like 18% on the lower end, I suppose. And on the upper end, even close to 30%. So if that does play out from our expansion dildo right here, then that would put Bitcoin basically somewhere around about $35,000, give or take a little bit from that number. Does that mean that Bitcoin cannot extend the rally from there? No, that's not what that means, but it would imply that, statistically speaking, that is a relevant region to be looking at for many other reasons as well, of course. The other reasons that we can reference over here on the daily for CME would be, of course, the CME gap that we did see from 6th of May, and then also the 0.5 fib from our last major drop off right here. Just above 35,000 bucks or so. And of course, there is an area of interest along the way. That area of interest is the same thing as before, about $33,000, of which Bitcoin did get pretty damn close to that yesterday. All right, so we've spoken about that. I want to now talk about the monthly, and then we're going to come into the lower term timeframes here. So let's now go over to the monthly, of which a couple major things to be aware of. All right, so the first and probably most important thing for me is this chart, the fundamental chart, which represents accumulation distribution indicator versus price action. I would feel extremely confident in saying that Bitcoin has probably not seen the low, or at least if we have seen the low, Bitcoin's very likely to retest somewhere reasonably close to the low. Why is that? Because this indicator in the past history, the 12-year history, yeah, the full history of Bitcoin, whatever, I don't know how many years we have now. Yeah, about 12 years or going on 13 years. Has been incredibly consistent with calling the macro lows. So all of these slope changes on the accumulation distribution indicator on the monthly specifically have correlated to macro shifts in direction. It does not time it precisely on that shift, but what I actually have found, and a little bit of a new information for today's video, would be along this horizontal line right here, when we do see that indicator get somewhere down reasonably close to it, that's typically where the low actually is, getting 1, 2, 3, 4 macro lows, like 4 macro lows. I'm talking about these sort of generational lows that you see here, 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 and here again. So in this case, you can see that we have ticked red. Like it actually is ticking red now for the first time, basically since 2020. But of course, if we are going to likely move our way somewhere down around reasonably close to this horizontal line, then Well, that would imply obviously more downside, as we've never seen a low, we've never seen a macro low ever, not even fucking once. No macro lows ever have been recorded in Bitcoin's history ever, without coming down reasonably close to this line, which maybe, should I delete this chart and just mark off those regions? I won't do that. Well, I'll mark them off like this. So you can see right here, boom, boom. Okay, you can see right here. Okay, you can see right here, obviously. You can see right here. So all of those have been, pretty damn bang on with getting the macro low. And then of course it takes, a few months after that, so 2 to 3 months after that, to actually get the slope change from the downside to the upside, which really marks like when the actual picture shifts into a general just grind to the upside. For example, over here in March 2020, you can see that the slope changed officially in June, and June was right here compared to the actual lows right here. But it did start to actually lose its curvature back in April, actually. So literally the month right after, which was pretty damn good. So even in like a kind of black swan event like this, it did operate as intended. Same thing over here, obviously in 2018, 2019, this one a lot more obvious, of course, as we do see the slope change officially happen in February, which the low was in basically 1 month before that in December, January right here. Then a couple months later, all the way to the upside for that nice move from basically 4,000 to 14,000 bucks. Anyways, in this case right here, I do think that it's a rather somber in detail because, let me get rid of this because it's not relevant. It's likely to move. It's actually a little bit too far down right there, but it's likely to move somewhere around here before putting in an actual low, which would imply, likely at least a retest somewhere reasonably close to our current lows, or maybe a little bit lower than that. I postulated based off of several other things that could be, basically like low 20,000 bucks. I still don't really have anything at the moment, that statistically tells me that Bitcoin is likely to go well below $20,000. But I do think that, a test somewhere down in like the low 20s is very possible. This is not happening today or tomorrow, though. We're talking about the macro. I need to be very careful with this because, I do read the comments. And it's very interesting to see what some people consider the macro. It's like the same day. No, we're looking at a monthly chart here. This probably isn't playing out anytime soon. Maybe around like end of year, if I had to guess. I'm never great with timing these sort of things, but if I had to, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say around end of year, I suppose. Another thing that is a bit more sombering over here as well is the monthly stochastic momentum oscillator, of which we will reference right now. And we can see, whoops, let me actually bring it back up. We can see that all of the macro shifts in direction, again, even just calling the lows, in fact, were met by the monthly stochastic momentum oscillator turning to the upside. I've marked them off, all of these phase shifts, with these green vertical bars, and you can see on the charts, pretty fucking good. Again, doesn't get the actual low, doesn't get the actual like low itself, but close enough to it, and more importantly, gets some momentum coming out of that low. So, if you're thinking in terms of opportunity cost, this is actually a really good thing to be keeping an eye on for the macro here. Anyways, in this case, we can see that the number needed in order to flip, momentum back up to the upside has shifted drastically to basically $46,000, which was coming down from about $54,000 last month. So that is, that's a pretty massive change. So I suspect that, the longer that Bitcoin can essentially go sideways here, maybe with retesting somewhere around the low, probably around like Q4 of this year, the more and more likely that we've probably seen reasonably close to the low already, but that would start to look a lot more like accumulation. So what would that probably look like on the chart? Short term probably up, then some like that. That would look really fucking good for the long term as a macro low. But until we get around to end of year, this is all just, drawing bullshit on a chart. So that's not very helpful. Anyways, what else did I want to get into? Yes, let's go over the short-term timeframes now, because we did see that move yesterday that we were looking at as the short-term downside move somewhere around the 382, which is about 31,200. We got down to 31,235, so I'm $15 off. So fuck Krown, he should probably die. And fair enough, maybe there's some validity to that, but overall, it's kind of the same thing here today. I actually still look at this as more or less good, and if Bitcoin does break below the 382, which is 31,200, I would be looking for a nice step down somewhere around about the 0.5 here, which is 30,650. Again, though, I don't really have a reason to look at this as like a massive bull trap until at fucking minimum, Bitcoin's below basically 30,000. 30,500, I would say, is probably the earliest consideration where I'd say, hey, this is a massive bull trap. We're going down now. We're going down like this, this sooner rather than later. But for the time being, I actually do think that Bitcoin probably trades sideways here within this short-term range and then tries another upside move. And the upside move will be validated towards the next set of targets with any sort of a 4-hour closure, basically above yesterday's, the same range highs that we were looking at yesterday, which was about 32,200 on a 4-hour closure on CME. At that point, looking for a move towards 33. Same thing over there, range resolution above, and I look for that next move towards 35 and then come back to it after that. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Bitcoin. I think we should reference a few things over here on the Krown channel. Oh, fuck, man. I should probably let you... We have a sale going on. Motherfucker, man. We have a sale going on. Forgot to talk about that. 20% off of all the programs. I don't want to make this video too long here, but I do want to let you know, please watch all of the promotional videos that come with these with these programs. They're going to explain who they're for, who they're not for, so that you can make a decision for yourself. And obviously, there's no rush into these things. There's still, another 5 days or so for the sale to go on. And then also, just like a good rule of thumb with these programs is that if you're unsure, it's probably not a good fit, especially with like the more bulkier programs, which is the TA program and the options program, which are like kind of my life's work, especially on the TA program that, I update over time. So do be aware of that. Also, if you do get into the program, understand that, our lovely support girls have to manually add all of your access and everything. So just, be a little bit patient there, as they'll definitely get to you. But, sometimes they do humanly stuff like sleeping and eating and shit like that. What else? Instagram. Yep, I got an Instagram account where I've been posting, and then Bybit. Yep, there's a Bybit show link in the description below as well. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today. Wishing you well as always, and hopefully that was helpful for Bitcoin. Nice one. All right, let me just swap. Yeah, if you have questions, you can always email support@krowntrading.net. And BurgleCunt has the most pertinent advice for anyone in the TA program. Also have a hog pick ready. It will save you a lot of time. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Bear Nutrition says, tap the likes. It would be appreciated. We almost got 600 on the video. We're doing pretty well. Actually, pretty damn well right there. Cool. Okay. Fuck. Almost forgot the sale. Jesus, man. Team's not going to be happy with that one. Okay. Let's see. I think Capotico is first. He's looking at near shitcoin protocol. So we will go look at that. We'll look at this amazing piece of technology over here. Let's see what it is. Near. See what this one's doing. Actually, I forget what this one's doing. Remember last week it looked pretty damn weak, and it still looks pretty damn weak, actually. Yeah, man. The problem with this is that, if Bitcoin does falter at all, this thing is going to get hit even more so. And the problem with a lot of these is, and I actually forgot this on Bitcoin as well. So I completely forgot this on Bitcoin, but there is technically a bit of a trap setup potential. And that would be when Bitcoin confirms another local high, which, below about 30,500. Yeah, you will start to confirm another local high. You have major drives of hidden bearish divergence. In this case right here, if we're looking at a 4-hour, what are we seeing? It's in kind of a difficult place right here. I really want to be bearish on this one, but the problem is that if Bitcoin makes another leg up, probably going to see this one at least retest the highs of this rally at like 645, 650. So in this case, I'll just kind of play it as far, or I'd be looking at it as far as like range resolution. What would be like this similar area towards Bitcoin at 30,500 would be 545 for this asset right here. Below 545, I would be looking for it to retest somewhere down around the $5 to 480 lows. Until then, sideways is good, I guess, but overall weak as far as in comparison to Bitcoin right here. So I don't really have strong opinions on it. Other than that, my other strong opinion would be on a range resolution to the upside. This one probably does have a nice move, but any sort of a trade above yesterday's high. This one very likely does retest its highs from like middle of May here, which is 7.25, but not really to be. I don't think that was too helpful, because this one's just, look, if Bitcoin goes down, this one's going to get absolutely fucking hammered. I do happen to think though that Bitcoin probably holds a range and tries another move to the upside based off of the earlier analysis. So hopefully that was helpful, ma'am. Ricky O says Axes. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can look at Axes. We haven't looked at this one in quite a long time. I can see why. It's gone mostly down. Gone another just absolute dog shit piece of shit chart. Wow. Terrible. Just fucking terrible, man. Terrible. Need to get like my best Charles Barkley accent out. Terrible. It's very, very terrible. But here's the thing. Oh my God, man. It's already been rejected. That is just ugly. That is just so fucking ugly, man. Well, okay, look, long term, this thing's very likely coming down below $10. But does it try another rally here? If Bitcoin tries another rally, probably yes. What are you? You're on a 4-hour. Same thing as the last chart. This one's weak as fuck, man. If you do see I wouldn't necessarily confirm this as like another local high and lower high with targets down to your current lows at $18 or so until you do see a 4-hour below about 2069. But for right now, I'm generally going to say the same thing as Bitcoin. Probably holds range and tries another rally back up into the mid 20s. But very, very weak on its own. Again, if Bitcoin shows any weakness, this thing will get absolutely fucking wrecked. It's just, yeah, disgusting. Terrible. Just terrible, man. Very, very bad. Nope, we did Capitico. Sam Fregnosi, good morning to you, man. Your thoughts on funded account? Okay, yeah. Okay, so funded. This is actually a really good question. What are my thoughts on funded account? It's a great way to get started. Absolutely, man. It depends. Also, like what sort of a shop is going to fund you. So obviously, they're always going to have different rules. Some of them are going to be a little more aggressive with taking their own share out of your profits, and some of them not so much. I have heard some issues, however, with some companies that have kind of a better, like on paper they look better, but a lot of the time it's actually like kind of a Ponzi scheme. It's weird, man. But I have heard complaints about that definitely in the past. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. That just means do your research. But as far as just my opinion on it, yeah, that's a great way to get started. Abs-fucking-lutely, man. In fact, one of the things that I really want to do this year is to link up with like a firm that does funded accounts, like some basically some sort of a prop shop, and be like, hey, we have a lot of people over here who have the skills, but maybe not necessarily the equity. Is that something that you could help out with? Because I think that would be super cool. But as far as just my thoughts on it, great. I mean, it's a really, really good opportunity, especially if you don't want to put your own money at risk at the current time as well. That can be a great way to get started. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and of course, you want to find one that fits your risk parameters, of course, but a lot of them are going to be pretty hands off with that from what I understand. So yeah, it should be, I'm sure that you can find a good one. Adil says Ethereum, Bitcoin, daily and weekly. Yeah, we can do that. Might as well just do Ethereum as well, versus the dollar. Daily and weekly. We've been pretty bearish on this one in the last few weeks here, and I'd still continue to be massively fucking bearish on it. Here we have Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and then we'll also do Ethereum versus the dollar as well. Looking like we do have a massive head and shoulders on the monthly right here, which just closed yesterday. So short term, can it rally? Maybe, anywhere around 64, what is it, 6.4 million Satoshis is meaningless. Long term though, I stick with what I've been saying ever since basically April, May, that probably does seem much lower, somewhere around maybe just slightly below 5 million Satoshis. Daily, are we putting in a little bit of a short-term bottom right here? It does look like it's trying. I would confirm a short-term bottom with targets up towards that 6.4, maybe even 6.6 million, actually probably closer to 6.5 to 6.6 million Satoshi region if you do trade above yesterday's high. Until then though, it is still obviously downturning. You got no low in sight. For on short-term time frames like a 4-hour, which I believe, actually did not request, but short-term, not really giving me too much right here. So if we go back to the daily and weekly as you requested, daily confirms a nice little local low back above yesterday's high. If you see that move, I would be looking for extension towards like 6.5 million Satoshis, somewhere around there would be fair game. Weekly, long term, I do think this one still has a lot more downside to go. We've seen weekly BBWP lift off here after extreme lows, and weekly RSI is breaking into the bearish control zone just freshly. So for the first time, basically since the last bear market actually in 2018. So I do think that this one over a long period of time does come down a lot more. I think most altcoin Bitcoin pairings come down a lot more actually, just in general based off of the Bitcoin dominance chart. We can also look at, of course, Ethereum versus the dollar. Let me actually pull up this chart. Actually, this will be okay. Similar, a little bit more similar chart to Bitcoin over here, although it more recently did make a significantly lower low. But same in the same case that short term the ranges are pretty damn consistent right here. So in this case, I would be looking at any sort of even an hourly closure. Although I would probably be more reliant on a 4-hour closure above 2019 and a half, just basically yesterday's highs, as very likely to get a nice drive of continuation back up to your prior daily range highs, which is all the way here. Over time, like not on the same fucking move, but over time, which would be between about 2150 to 2200 or so, of which I would be looking for nice pullbacks from there. By contrast, similar to Bitcoin, is there a trap set up right here? Technically speaking, yes, but it's quite far away from being completed. It would be completed below 1870. If that does get hit off, then yes, I would be looking for a move back down around your current lows, which would imply below, somewhere around 1800, a little bit below there is actually fine as well. Weekly, long-term ugly week, but the real question here to me is, does Bitcoin put in an extended rally towards $35,000 or not? If it does, you probably see Ethereum somewhere around 2350 to 2500 in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'd suspect. If it doesn't, then it's continuation from here, but it kind of seems a little bit, at least to me, a little bit overdone to the downside in the short term, and probably gets a relief rally. I think it's a lot more likely to trade to the upside here, just putting it out there. But hey, I'll be wrong on that if you even take out the short-term range lows. And of course, oh no, I deleted. No, it's right here. Let's go look at stochastic momentum just to see where it's at right now. Daily remains upside as long as we're above 1730. So far so good. 5-day is gonna have a fresh cross up above 1990. So still got some work to do, but that could very easily extend the rally if you do see that hit off in the next closing period. 4-hour time frame is corrective right now. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ethereum. Cool. Let's see, did I miss something? No, we good. Okay. Amadeo Siona says, hi Dad, thoughts on Tron? Sure. TRX USD. Let's see what this one looks like. Reasonably different than all the other charts that we've seen today, Bitcoin included, which is very interesting here. Let's put it on this chart over here. Honestly good. Honestly good, man. I'd actually be looking for this one to make a move towards close to 9 cents. 8.8 to somewhere between 8.8 and 9 cents. This is I mean, despite I think most people's thoughts on Tron, this is actually one of the best chart we've seen today thus far. Looks like it has a nice weekly low in, probably long term working its way towards 10 cents. I mean, this is not like that bad. It's not that bad. I was expecting something pretty damn bad. It's not that bad. If it does have a pullback anywhere down to like 7, 8 to basically low 8 cents, is fine, but I'd be looking for bounces there. I actually think that this one will see probably close to 10 cents in the next coming months. Yeah, not bad there. Moonboy Antenna says, joke. Thank you for letting me know. Sir, give me the targets for Luna C and its less insane sibling, 2NA. God damn, man. It actually really blows my mind that, you can basically be revealed as what would appear to be, and look, I'm not an expert saying this, so I don't actually know, but what would appear to me to be like basically a fucking Ponzi scheme with Luna, and then immediately after it blows up, just like 2 weeks later, you make another one. I don't know. It's very like interesting thing to kind of observe from afar. Waifu Hunter says, sup Krown, what's up, man? Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Thoughts on ZIM shipping? I'm guessing this is a stock. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, it's the name of the stock. Okay. 4-hour and daily. Let's see. Down. Probably looking for this one to make another move towards $60, 59.5 to $60. 4-hour, there's probably gonna be bounces in between, but I think you got your nice little short-term high in as long as you're below about $70, or especially like 69, and you work your way down a little bit here. But I wouldn't be like, I'm not like super bearish on it. It's just, I think it has some downside here. I do think it could very easily, however, in the next maybe in like the next few months, come down to like 55 and try for a low there. But I don't know if necessarily you probably don't care about the time frame. But yeah, daily, very likely coming down. 4-hour, might be some bounce in between. If they do, I'd probably be looking at 66.5 or so. B-Flow says, you think Hex goes sub 0.018 cent? I don't know. I think it hit my 2 cent target though from like last year. So that's nice. Yeah. So do I think that it'll go below? Okay, below basically 2 cents. I mean, it kind of already got there, man. I know it got there on one of these exchanges. This one did not, but close enough is close enough. I mean, what's the difference between, hold on, I know that I got very close on one of these damn exchanges. Maybe versus Tether. No, didn't quite get there as well. Do I think it can get down around there? Yeah, I can definitely get down around there. The question is, do you rally first? Here's the thing, you know, I do still think long term, like months down the road, not today, not tomorrow, not even this week or next week or the week after that, but long term down the road, Bitcoin probably does go lower or somewhere around its lows. I think Hex will likely make new lows when that happens as well, as will most things. And, you know, where would Hex come down to? Somewhere around there is fine. I don't know if I actually don't know if I'd necessarily say it would go below 2 cents. I do think like just above 2 cents is probably where I'd be looking for. That's I think that's enough, honestly. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Short term, it probably rallies though. But yeah, long term, you know, if Bitcoin comes down and, you know, makes another move towards 25 or even 20, then yeah, this one very likely does make a move somewhere around there, I'd imagine. Via Whale Scalper says, "Don't kill me, Shiba Inu." I'm actually, I would never kill you, man. I'm actually interested to see for myself, just because, you know, where are a lot of these charts after the crypto devastation of May? God, that is ugly, man. Fucking ugly. Daily, very similar to a lot of the other charts that we've seen today. And so same sort of thing goes on right here. It's like, do you have a potential trap situation going on? Yes. Do I think it's going to play out? Actually, I don't think it's going to play out. I would only say it's confirmed below 1122. Until then, short-term sideways is actually good for the BULAs, and any sort of a move basically back above, you know, 1220. And I'd be looking for your prior daily range highs to probably get retested, or maybe not your prior daily range highs, because this one is, you know, it is SHIB after all, but at least somewhere right around here, which would be like 1300. If things do get more extended and more insane, I'd be looking somewhere around 1430 to 1460 or so. Long term, you know, same thing as all the other ones. Like, yeah, you might rally short term. You might even rally. I think best case scenario. Let's say Bitcoin gets to like 35, or maybe even a little bit more than that. You probably see SHIB best case scenario somewhere around 17 to 1800. Long term, I would feel quite confident saying that this thing probably never sees the all-time high again. It might be too early to say that, to be fair. I mean, it only has been around for like less than a year, so maybe I hold off on that statement. But, you know, probably does try a bit of a rally from here. But long term, yeah, not great, man. Cool. Salt the snails. Salt the snails. I saw you on Instagram, man. AVAX versus the dollar. Okay, yeah, I'd be interested in recording this one as well. We haven't looked at this one in quite some time. Yeah, acting weak right now too. All right, here we have Avalanche, AVAX versus the dollar, and acting definitely relatively weak to a lot of the other charts we've seen today. The problem is, though, is that, you know, if Bitcoin's going to likely make a move, then kind of have to be looking for something relatively similar on most altcoins. And in this case, you know, do you have the same sort of trap potential setup going on as Bitcoin? Yeah, you do. So if Bitcoin completes its trap setup, which I think is a little bit less likely, to be honest, then I would be looking for this one to retest your $23 to $22.50 lows. That would be confirmed with any sort of a 4-hour closure below about 24.85, or especially a daily below 25 and a quarter or so. Until then, you know, if it can hold the range sideways, that's completely fine. I mean, it's like, this is if I was just looking at AVAX, I'd be very, very bearish on it. But any sort of a break back above, or even just a move back above actually yesterday's high, and I'd be looking for it not to retest prior daily range highs, but at least somewhere right around here, which would be like 32 to 30 to 34 or so, if that were to happen. But it is acting relatively weak. So if Bitcoin does show any weakness, this thing's probably going to get hammered, you know, more in comparison. Long term, I don't think that the lows are in. I do think that long term on the macro scale, probably still looking somewhere down around 15 to somewhere between 13 to 15 bucks. And of course, there's going to be bounces in between it. And I think that's going to kind of be decided in these next couple of days here, whether we see Bitcoin continue or not. If we see Bitcoin continue, obviously this thing very likely bounces as well. If we don't, then well, it's already in Goblin Town, so I guess it just moves further down there. Let's see. Yeah, daily stochastic momentum remains to the upside as long as you're above 22 bucks. Again, it's a corrective signal right here, obviously. Weekly is straight down below 35. I mean, this is just, like, this one's been hammered so fucking hard to the downside that it really wouldn't take too much to get it to bounce. 5-day turns up above 27, so I'm more inclined to say that you probably bounce out of this first before making new lows, maybe later this year. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for AVAX. Cool. Let me just double check over here. Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, the Saturn epoch is looking at Amazon, symbol AMZN. Nice. Daily, does the rally continue? Whoops, let me actually put it on this chart. AMZN. There we go. Does the rally continue? Yeah, I think the rally probably has like another leg in it or so. I don't know. I don't necessarily say that it continues like today. It could very easily, range a little bit today, but, maybe for the next couple of weeks, probably somewhere around 2,600. I think best case scenario is 28. Yeah, I think it extends it a little bit more. Like, again, it's coming down to some pretty macro levels right here. Monthly actually closed okay. Again, I'm not like a humongous fan about this chart. Like, Jesus Christ, man, that is such an insane chart to look at long term. I generally think you're probably going to bounce from here. 2,700 probably going to be an area of interest though, for a rejection. 2,600, yeah, 26 to 2,700 kind of where I'd be looking for. Short term though, like, does it continue exactly from today? No, it probably opens up on a pullback. Any pullback to like 2,300 is fine. What is not fine is below 2,250. Mr. Venegas, good morning, sir. Can you look at Gary? It's been in the range for a bit now. Okay. See what this one is. I recognize the name, but I don't recognize. Oh my God. It's been in a range because it's literally a line chart. Hold on, let's see. How is this one held up? Actually quite well, all things considered. That's interesting. Anyways, you're looking at a 1 and 4 and daily. Okay, so daily, I would prefer it down around like 61 cents, but 4 hour, like, these are not helpful charts because I imagine this thing probably is not trading that much. Yeah, you're seeing like volumes on a 4 hour of like 5,000 in some cases. It's like very, 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 very light, and it is a downturn right now. Are indicators giving any sort of I do not think that these are helpful here. I don't think that indicators are going to be like useful in this case. It doesn't really even seem to be following Bitcoin. It's kind of moving to the beat of its own drum. Here's the range, so I'd have it 64.17 to the downside versus 68.09 to the upside. Anything in between there is irrelevant. Any sort of a break to the bottom side would imply moves back down towards that daily area I just spoke about, which was 60 cents or so. Any sort of a break above the top side of the range, 68, probably retest somewhere around 71.50 or so. Hourly, short term, if I had to call it, probably down, but I don't really have a strong opinion on this, man. This is a line chart, sir. Feltima says, good morning, guys. What's up, man? Can you check the Bitcoin 5-day Gaussian chart? I can. Yeah, I can check it. I haven't checked it in a while. Let's go to the 5-day here. Oh, I don't even have it on my charts anymore. Okay, let's go to this, and let's just plop it in. Where is my indicators? There we go. Gauss. Yep. I think I spelled it wrong. I think it's G-A-U. Yes. There we go. Okay, so here's a 5-day. I mean, it broke below it like a month ago, man. Anyways, Bitcoin broke the channel, but bounced off the 200 SMA. It has never happened before. Significant? Like, what do you mean has never happened before? Like breaking? No, it's certainly broken below the bottom side of the Gaussian channel. So surely you don't mean that. Do you mean bouncing off the 200 simple? I think people misinterpret what this means here. Is it significant? No, just an, like, it's only significant within the context of a strategy, man. I don't think it matters. I don't think it fucking matters. All these sorts of things where people say like Bitcoin has never gone below the weekly 200 simple or the 5-day 200 simple right here. That's all bullshit analysis in my opinion. It doesn't matter. It's just just because it hasn't done it doesn't mean that it can't do it. Of course it can fucking do it. you know, these are just like major areas where especially long-term money managers are going to be probably taking profit if they were short off of this area over here, or they might, even if they're like very long-term accumulators, and they probably nibble a little bit down around these regions as well. But I don't have any other analysis on it other than that. Yeah, I'd say it's not that it's not significant. It's just how you're going to fit that into a strategy. I don't see anything obvious as far as I can tell. So I have no opinion on it that I would feel comfortable espousing on YouTube. Bruh. Yes, I see. Bruh, let us rise to Valhalla. I would like to go there as well. But first, let us check. Actually, we finished Vikings Valhalla. It was really, really good. I'm talking to Style Exteriors, you fuck. Pay attention. Let us check SNX USD for our daily weekly. Got it. Okay. SNX USD. Yeah, actually acting relatively strong compared to most of the other charts we've seen in the short term. 4 hour daily, weekly, daily. Again, any sort of a move above yesterday's high, and I extend that run towards 380 or so. 4 hour, relatively strong here. I think short term you're moving back up towards 330, 335. I would only call a bull trap with a move below 280, 285. Sorry, yeah, 285. Until then, I think this is basically what Bitcoin's probably going to do here. It's probably going to put in a little bit of a short-term low and work its way through. Not everyone, but I can almost assure you what a lot of people are going to say, and this is how you know people do not understand moving averages. They'll be like, the 4 hour 200 simple is rejecting. It's like, no, when you see price action stay around a moving average like this for a long time, it's probably going to break. Like it's a much higher probability of breaking in that direction rather than getting rejected. If you're going to get rejected, you typically move away from it a little bit faster. I wouldn't say that this has been there for a long time yet though, but if Bitcoin hangs around here for another couple of days, yeah, that would probably be a good sign. Even another few days would be pretty damn good. Okay, let's man, how mods? There we go. Nice. Nikki Page is on it. She's got it. Yeah, man, it's like, what? I wonder. Interesting life. Tristan Ingalls says, Sushi Swap thoughts. Okay, without any time frame, so I'm not sure it's going to be super relevant, but I'll just look at a daily, I guess. Sushi Swap, long-term, absolute, devastatingly disgusting, garbage, piece of shit, chart, terrible, fucking terrible, absolute terrible. Short-term on a daily, probably extends the rally. Can very easily rally towards 210 to 220 and mean absolutely fucking butt kiss for the long term. This thing will very unlikely ever see those highs ever fucking again. Best case scenario, even on this, even on a full market rally where Bitcoin maybe even hits like $40,000, which I think is kind of a stretch right now anyways, this one might see $4.50 to $5, but long term just god awful. Like really, this is a dead heartbeat, man. This is a dead fucking heartbeat right here. So I don't really know what time frames you want me to go off of, but to be fair, it's actually having a good short term compared to a lot of other things. I do think that it probably extends the rally a little bit more. I would only call a bull trap with a move below 163, basically yesterday's low. Anywhere below yesterday's low, yeah, send it back down to the current lows and probably make new lows, but I don't think that's necessarily happening right here. I think it probably tries to rally first. Okay, let us see what we have over here. Yep, okay. Can we get a soundboard? Fuck for that comment, says Burnt Cream. Actually, my soundboard is not on today. It's been a while since we streamed. It's been like 4 or 5 days. I've forgotten all my things. Moonboy Antenna says TA program soon. Cool. I appreciate your dedication and passion for your craft, man. Yeah, I guess it kind of takes a certain type of mentally disturbed person to enjoy doing this, but yeah, man, I enjoy it. To me, trading is like a video game with financial consequences. So for me, it's like I love video games, but this makes more sense to put effort into instead of like a World of Warcraft character, because the World of Warcraft character, you can get some cool pixels on your screen, some cool new gear, some T3 rating gear, but it doesn't really help you like pay rent. So there's that. But yeah, man. Dokwan Tuna, dear Lord. Thomas Mataris says short-term gala. What does short-term mean to you, man? I'm gonna go with a 4 hour or maybe an hourly. That would be my guess. They have a fundamentally big event on Monday. Oh, that's probably going to be sold into. But in the meantime, can probably pump up into it. So a lot of the time with an event like that, now I don't know what the event is, but typically with events, just general with events, you know, you rally up into the event and then you sell off pretty much right after. In this case, very similar chart to a lot of the other things that we've seen today. I would call a bull trap with a 4-hour closure below 7.8 cents. Until then, sideways is good for the boo laws, closing back above 8.5 cents. And I'd probably look at this one, you know, at least moving up to 9.25, and then theoretically should try a move towards the daily range highs, which is like 10 cents. But this one is overall quite weak, so it's hard to, yeah, it's hard to be. A little bit, yeah, this is very fucking weak. Wow. Yeah, that is ugly. That's very fucking ugly. Very reminiscent of a lot of 2017 charts where they just went straight up in the bull market and then straight down. So it's like, where's the next local high? Is it here? Is it maybe around 13 cents? I don't know. But I imagine with an event, if that's what you're looking at, probably going to move up into the event and then probably going to sell off after. Matador MC says T2. Okay. What's this? Take Two. Okay. Oh, they do games, right? Long-term investment. Oh, this is the ones that do Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 6 Thoughts. Man, I've actually never been that much into Grand Theft Auto. But I do appreciate it just as like a really high quality game. It's like a work of art, basically. It's crazy that Grand Theft Auto 5 has stood the test of time for like, I guess 10 years now. 10 years, and it's like still one of the most played games, like on a daily basis. That's fucking insane, man. Absolutely fucking insane. Okay, so you got in at 103, long-term investment. I don't know when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, so I don't know how long that is, but I don't hate it. I mean, if this is like a long-term thing, I think, you know, you basically got at the exact area that I want to get in at if I was a long-term investor, like this 103 area, the same sort of accumulation and consolidation that you saw from 2018 all the way through 2020. You know, if things dump off from there and you take out your current lows, you're already very, very close to your entry. So, you know, at that point, yeah, you probably do see a nice big move down towards like $70 if that would happen. But for now, I think that you got a nice low in, and, you know, you probably rally off there. But I don't know when Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out, so I have no fucking clue. Short term, might come down a little bit. That's fine. Again, only really concerning like below your current low at that point. Not good. What's up, African crypto warlords? Krown steals cars in real life. Wait, what the fuck, man? What's that about? Then I guess is looking for symbol BICL. Okay, I'm not familiar with this one. Okay, 5 and 15. Okay, very, very short. Let's see. This is actually pretty damn close to an entry signal for my own strategies. With the target, you know, back around your range highs, like 90 cents or so on the 15-minute, but it's not quite there just yet. You know, you basically got a range going on, right? So I would actually kind of treat it as such, as long as you're above this 82 cent region. Below there, I do think that this one has some downside to go, which would be like 76 cents. But until then, this would actually be very, very close to an entry for myself. Might even fire off an entry like in like an hour or two. But for right now, technically not there. So that to me is a no trade. But if it does fire off, probably looking somewhere back around like 90, maybe even like 94 cents, if that happens. Oh, and also an hourly. Okay, that would also be helpful. Pretty good move here, pound for pound, compared to a lot of the other things. Yeah, short term, just a range. Probably does retest the range lows, but I wouldn't be concerned about a break at the range lows just yet. And sorry, the range lows are not 82, it's 81.5. So as long as you're above there, I'm kind of looking at it sideways and probably gives another try to the upside. But weird chart, man. Where do you find all these things? Oh my God, it's one of these. Okay, maybe I take what I said back. Because on the daily, this would be very close to a perfect short entry for one of my strategies. But I just don't know how much I trust on something that's this new, you know, and probably very, 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 very low liquidity here. Hey, what's up, Martin Hunt? Good morning to you. Can you look at XMR ADA? I see a lot of people making noise about Cardano today, so maybe we do that one, and maybe we can record a video on it as well. 4 hour and daily. Okay, no problem, man. No problem. Okay, let's see. That's why everyone's getting excited. It literally had, oh my God, man. Oh man, people are gonna be very unhappy about this. All right, here we have Cardano symbol ADA versus the dollar. And just like all the other charts that we looked at today, there is a potential bull trap situation going on. I do think it's unlikely to be confirmed here, but I should, for good, just for good disclosure, call it out, which would be confirmed with a 4-hour closure. Actually, not below there, but below about 55 cents or so. Below there, yeah, I would be looking for this one to come back down and retest around the lows. That being, 46 to basically 50 cents. But until that happens, I do think it's actually a lot more likely to trade sideways here and actually give another move to the upside. You've already tested around your range highs. So in this case, similar to Bitcoin, if you do actually probably even trade above yesterday's high, I'm guessing. Yeah, yesterday's high, especially if you close a full hour above about 69 cents, I would actually be looking for another, pretty big leg to the upside, with, at least target somewhere around like 76 to maybe 80 cents or so. But do understand that long term, this thing is going to be in a downtrend, like basically as long as you're below $1.20. So, I think best case scenario, you might see a rally, 90 cents, maybe even a little bit above $1 if this one continues like long term over the next few months here. But those would be great places for another lower high. Monthly is absolutely atrocious. Long term, I do not think that I think that the lows are unlikely in long term. But short term, probably does have another leg in the rally if I had to guess. Let's go check out what Stochastic Momentum says and see if it corroborates that story. Yeah, daily remains the upside as long as you're above 46.37. This is a corrective signal though, but yeah, as long as you're above that region, I do probably look for this one to give another try to the upside over the next few weeks. 5-day already crossed up as well, and will be upside as long as above 45 cents, so that's good. Weekly, same thing, 49 cents. So if I had to call it, yeah, it probably does extend the rally over the next few weeks here. Long term though, I'd still have pretty significant caution with it. Doesn't mean that it can't reverse long term, but it's just got a lot of work to do. If we're going off the short term right now, short term, bit of sideways correction here. Again, anything above, what was it, 55 cents is completely fine. Below 55 cents, I do start to look at this as a bull trap, but for now, probably trade sideways here. Works off extreme conditions on 4-hour BBWP, and then tries another move to the upside, as you are going to start to naturally make some hidden bullish divergence here. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful for Cardano. Everyone loves a good peg. All right. AC3 says thoughts on waves. Okay. What's this? Whoops. What is this? It's bad spelling is what it is. Okay. Waves. Very similar in the short term to Cardurpio, and very similar in the long term to it as well. Just that straight down chart. But similar to Cardurpio, I do think that this one probably extends the rally. I'd really only consider it a bull trap with a move back down below about $6.50. Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when you grind up against a major moving average like this. Typically going to break in that direction. This one will be fully validated with even a 4-hour closure above like 945, 950 or so, and probably looking at least a retest of yesterday's high, and probably extends over the next week or two towards $12. Again, long term, like not great. I think best case scenario, if assuming that the whole market rallies, you might see like around $20 or so, but yeah, not like anytime you see a chart do something like this, man, it's not good. But doesn't mean that I can't have a nice mean reversion bounce here. Yeah, that's really what I have to say about that, man. You didn't really give me time frames there, so I don't really know what to be going off of. GVN official, degenerate lawyer and comedian. That's are you really a lawyer and a comedian? That's cool. Dude, haven't been here for a minute. Loving the new short from Instagram. Awesome, man. I'm really glad to hear that. I've recommended your program to two of my. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. As always though, it might not be the greatest fit for them. So do make sure that they watch the promo video, understand what they're getting themselves into. But thanks, man. That's amazing, and I really appreciate the feedback on the Instagram, because that's something that I want to put more effort into and just see where it can go. And maybe nothing comes out of it. Maybe it turns out to be a great venue for myself. But yeah, looking to do more there. Let's see. Carl Riley says, "Morning, sir." Good morning to you, sir. Ruin USV. Okay. Ruin. Daily, weekly. Okay. I wonder if its breakdown to 150 has been invalidated. Let's see. Long term, no. No. Long term on the macro, no, I don't think so. But short term, yeah, I do think that it probably tries to rally from here. as do most things. But this one a little bit in the shorter term, relatively weak compared to some of the other charts we looked at. Thus, but still, same as other charts, I would not be calling a bull trap here until you're at minimum below 287. Until then, short-term sideways is good for the BULAs. Any sort of a trade back above yesterday's high, and I look for the daily range highs to be retested, which is like $3.80 to $4. You know, personally speaking, I do think most things are probably going to rally more than even that from here. Again, going off the statistics for Bitcoin, you know, let's say Bitcoin gets to $35,000 in the next month or two. Where does this one find its way? Probably somewhere around like $5. But long term, do I think that the downside is necessarily over? I mean, you know, you got to look at the monthly here, and no, I don't think so. I think that this one probably has a lot more downside to go. Probably somewhere around $1.25 to $1.50. I mean, this is like, that's not good. Not great. But the only invalidation for like long-term downside on this thing, now that it's kind of put in a monthly top, would be it's got to have a monthly reversal. Right now, well, I don't even think it's worth talking about because it's so fucking far away. Doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it'd probably take a minimum of a very, very long time. Then I guess we got that one for Biko. GRGO, man, double G. Double G. I'm sorry, man. I don't think I can say that name. Also, where are you from? What even is that? I'm curious. Sir, my monthly accumulation distribution indicator is still in the green. Probably check your exchange. I use the index for, huh? Oh, Hungarian or Hungarian or Honduran?
Croatian.
Oh, Croatian. Oh, that's cool, man. We're actually looking at that place. Yeah, the accumulation distribution indicator. So for you, you're probably not on the index. If you're on the index, it should be red. So the Bitcoin index, basically, which you can find by doing this. It'll be the one that says index. There you go. That's the one that I track for that because it has the most history. So I feel it's the best one to be doing. Matt Flowtree says, Elsa, if we join the program, do we get insight into actual trades Krown's making? I will every once in a while call it a trade, but that is absolutely zero. That is absolutely the worst possible mentality to come into the program with. I do not act as a signal service. I do not want to be seen as a signal service. It's not the sort of message I want to be having. And if that is what you are looking for, it's really not going to be a good fit. Just to put it bluntly. Let's see. Stock series says Ocean USDT. Okay. Another 2017 one. I wonder where this one's at nowadays. Not great. But is this the history? No, we don't even have the full history here. 4 hour daily, weekly. Okay, daily. Same thing as all the other ones, man. I wouldn't call a bull trap until you're at minimum below 21.5 cents. Again, personally speaking, I do think this one rallies from here, probably retest the highs of yesterday, 25 cents, and probably even extends the rally somewhere around like 28 to maybe even 30 cents. Weekly. Long term, really don't fucking like it. Really, really don't like it. But, you know, if it wanted to play out a rally like this, like, you know, over the next month or two or something like that, and then come down again, that would probably make sense. But I do think best case scenario to the upside is maybe somewhere, this is like best case scenario to the upside is like 50, low 50s. And generally think you're going to do something like that. Most things probably going to do something like that. Let's see. Okay. Mitch Dempsey says hopium case for PYR if Bitcoin rallies to 35. Okay, so this is an assumption. This is an assumption. So let's see where we're at. All right, so if that were to happen, this one we can already see is relatively weak here. It's already, you know, taken out yesterday's low, which is not a good fucking sign. But best case scenario, like let's say Bitcoin rallies to 35, you probably see this one somewhere around $7, give or take a little bit from that number. I think best case scenario, maybe like 8, more reasonable, maybe like 6.5, something like that. Okay, Ape, 4 hour and 12 hour. Okay, haven't looked at this one in a while as well, but I'm gonna guess it's still in the gutter, and it is still in the gutter. 4 hour daily, 12 hour, same chart as all the other ones, man. Bull trap gets confirmed with a 4 hour closure below 650. Until then, I think this one, even this piece of highly esteemed technology, probably going to rally as well. Back up to like $7 or so. 12 hour, any sort of a closure above yesterday's high, or even just a move above yesterday's high, I'd probably look for this one to move up towards $8. But long-term, relatively weak, 8 to 8.5 if that were to happen. You know, again, it's probably gets a little bit of a rally here, but if you do start to trade below the area that we marked off here, not fucking good. All right, Venegas, another piece of shit. ZRX on the hourly. Okay. All right, ZRX USD. Okay. I don't really know which ones. Maybe do we have a KuCoin or a Binance? We got a Binance. This one used to be thought of as like a really highly esteemed technology, actually. Hourly is good, man. Again, I think most things are probably in for a short-term rally, at least back to the highs of this morning at 44 cents. But personally speaking, I think that you probably see somewhere back around here, like 45.5, maybe 46, something like that. John Pedersen says, LEO daily, low time frame scalping. Okay, so 15-minute. Okay, gotcha. This is the Finex thing. Okay, it might be a good idea to close the chats, actually. 15-minute and hourly, let's see. Okay, this thing, wow, this is a really weird looking chart to me. It's having a nice little move here, but where would I be looking for? I'm trying to zero in this area. Somewhere around here between like 545 to 550 or so is probably where I'd be looking for. But it's like I don't trust charts on this thing, man. I really don't. If I had to call it, I do think you got an extension of this move here, but like this is just, it's a very bizarre chart to me, so I don't feel too confident with it. I think it's important to state that. If you can trade back above these 11th of May highs, at that point, I'd really be looking for this thing to get rolling towards 580 to maybe even $6. But yeah, I really don't feel too confident on this, but if I had to call it in the short term, yeah, I think that you can send a little bit more here for the very short term. All right. Ian Gazzard says, AVAX, please. I think we did that one earlier. Pretty sure we did. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it's relatively weak. I'd call a bull trap below 24, what was it, like 24.70 until then. Short-term sideways is okay, but it's relatively weak, man. I'll actually upload a video on it a little bit later. So there we go. But yeah, you know, if Bitcoin extends the rally, probably looking somewhere around like 31.5 to 30, or sorry, it's 32 to 34, if that happens. Raul Vargas says, Elsa, quick question. I'm not a trader. I would like to get into options trading. I'm new. I want a program that can explain from beginning to end. Do I buy one or two programs? No, only start off with one, because honestly, like, it's going to take a long time to integrate it. And there's like, you can't do two things at once. And honestly, options trading is a lot more difficult than just straight up spot trading. So I would honestly, if you're very, very new, what I would suggest, Raul, is not any of the big programs. I would suggest the Neophyte program. Or first, I'd actually suggest just the free playlist on YouTube, because that, you know, that could probably get you started. Maybe that's even good enough as well. But if you want to take the next step, at that point, I'd check out the Neophyte program, because it's a lot less of a financial commitment. And then also it's designed for like the beginner. Like, I'll literally walk you through an exchange. But yeah, I wouldn't consider the TA program nor the options program. They're going to be a lot more financially intensive, and then also they're going to certainly with the options program, but also with the TA program, it's going to assume that you understand a lot of very basic things with exchanges and whatnot. Pin my message. All right. Okay, we got that. Okay, last one for Mr. Venegas. Okay, Mr. Venegas. OG on the 4-hour daily. Man, you are just, man, you love all these things, don't you? I'm curious though, why? I'm just genuine curiosity. Yeah, really good move here though. Maybe I can see why. Like, they move pretty aggressively. I'm curious what the liquidity is like though, but oh my God, man. This is just a weird looking chart to me. It kind of got up to the area that I would be expecting for this move. So what do we look at here? Maybe go to the 4-hour first. And I'm probably going to default to what I'm saying for most things, in the sense that, hey, I'm generally looking for this rally to extend here. I would invalidate that below about 25.5 cents. Until then, sideways is good for the Bulas. Short term probably does come down a little bit towards 30 cents. But as long as it can hold kind of sideways here without breaking that level to the downside, I'd even move that up a little bit to basically 27. 27 cents. I'd probably be looking for maybe one more shot up over the next couple weeks here. Again, if Bitcoin continues somewhere around like 48 to 50 cents or so would be a really good area. Long term, very bearish as long as you're below this last lower high, which is 80 cents, but it's not that far away, I guess. So if you could actually trade back above there, that would be a really good long-term reversal signal. Okay, cool, man. My my voice starting to go right now, but it's been a nice and pleasurable Wednesday here with you all. I think it's a good time for me to probably sign off again. I'm generally looking for Bitcoin to grind this one out and probably try another move to the upside, but I will be wrong on that and invalidated with any sort of even an hourly closure below 30,500 is the big area for me. At that point, you do start to confirm another local high, which would be also confirming hidden bearish divergence on the daily RSI going all the way back to these highs over here, which would be very, very nasty. But for right now, again, generally think we kind of trade sideways and then try another upside move from here and then come back to it after that. So hopefully that was helpful for Bitcoin. It's been an absolute pleasure on this lovely Wednesday. Major thank you to our lovely moderation crew yet again. Wishing everyone well as always. And with that said, we'll be back soon. Take care and see you hopefully soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it.